Enter the 4th gen 2026 Honda Passport 3.5 liter V6 engine at roughly $53,000 before tax and all that stuff. A week in my home, over 400 miles with it. I got thoughts. Let's dive into it. So since the Passport returned to Honda in 2019, it's felt more like a baby pilot. However, last year's refresh changed things as the company transformed the Passport into an SUV with a stronger sense of identity. Mild-mannered enough for school drop-offs and grocery runs, but rugged enough to hit the off-road. So yeah, the Passport isn't cosplaying as a rugged SUV, it's truly about that life. But we'll get to that a bit later. At first glance, the visual standouts are its amber colored daytime running lights that resemble like transformer eyes, a slight slit on the hood for its active shutter grille that opens and closes to keep the engine cool at various speeds, chunky 18-inch all-terrain tires, and the large Passport branding on both the front and the rear of its 192-inch long SUV. So I'm on route to film some footage today and want to start it with something healthy. So if you're in the Lodi, New Jersey area, make sure you swing by Rush Bowls for some smoothies, bowls. So I opted for PB Crunch smoothie, which was amazing and kept me full for a long day. Stepping inside, you're greeted with a spacious, quiet cabin with a brown two-tone perforated leather interior. Behind the heated steering wheel lies a 10.2-inch digital cluster displaying speedometer, gas gauge, drive modes, etc. Next to that is a highly responsive 12.3-inch touchscreen display powered by Google and the Google Assistant, which offers media, navigation, multi-angle camera views, supports Alexa, and includes wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. In the sound department, it's armed with a 12-speaker Bose system, which is full of sound, heavy on bass, and exceptional on the mids. Front seats do have heating and ventilation, TrailSport stitching on the headrest, the whole deal. There's also a built-in wireless phone charger, a set of massive cup holders that can hold 32-ounce drinks. Instead of your typical gear shifter, you have park, reverse, neutral drive buttons. If you've never driven using those, you can adapt to them rather fast. And last but not least, a massive storage space in the center console. Passengers in the back get their own HVAC controls, window shades, a set of USB-C ports, and a 115-volt outlet. So if you got kids or others riding with you, they're not suffering back there. 44 cubic feet behind the second row, nearly 83 with the seats folded, as the Passport provides more than enough space. So I'm out with the family and the wife wanted to check out the spot she saw on IG called Cheesesteaks. Looks like chest steaks, but cheesesteaks. The location we were at is the Kenilworth location. However, there wasn't a ton of room for our family of 4, so we migrated to nearby malls, sit down and eat. And yes, it was as good as social media presented it to be. Now let's get back to the truck. Under the hood, you have a 3.5 liter V6 engine, 10-speed automatic transmission, 285 horsepower with 262 pound-feet of torque, and it just whispers. 0 to 60 in over 7 seconds. That's not slow, but at highway speeds, like 70 miles an hour, no stress, no noise, no fight. It felt natural. It definitely sounded off below if you're team V6 or a hybrid, which one do you prefer? And then also behind the wheel for your smart driving features, you have the Honda Sensing Suite, which handles adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane assist, and those work pretty well. Not too sensitive, not too like laid back. And yes, it's a rugged SUV and it's capable of towing up to 5,000 pounds, which most SUVs can. You know, if you want to tow more, you're gonna need something bigger. Another area that the Passport impressed me was a curvy road near my area. I pushed it a little, not recklessly, but enough. And it just gripped and held. That's Honda's fluctuating torque all-wheel drive doing its job with its upgraded suspension, which really comes in handy in off-roading. But so let's just get into that part now. So I linked up with my brother and co-founder and we found a spot near his area, no street lights, reservoir views in the distance, rocky dirt roads, some serious elevation changes. So of course, before we get started, switches to trail mode. That's when the Passport kind of transforms. Not really. It raises up a little bit. The all-terrain tires bit into the gravel, suspension soaked with the rocks, and then on the touchscreen you got the multi-angle trail watch camera showing me exactly where my front tires are and tracking in real time, as well as your pitch and roll levels. And boy, did we have fun. Drove through muddy puddles, climbed some rock formations, hit some steep inclines, and honestly at no point did I feel like I was about to lose control with this thing. The 8.3-inch ground clearance and underbody protection are legit. If you've ever been to the New York Auto Show, they have the Camp Jeep where you're going up these inclines and stuff. Of course, not to that level, but it kind of felt like that, except this time I'm in the driver's seat instead of the passenger. So after all that, you can easily say the Passport is not cosplaying as a rugged SUV, it is one. We got it filthy and loved every second of it. So who is it for? If you want a spacious SUV with a V6 engine that does school drop-offs on Mondays and actual trail runs on Saturdays, but it's not a massive pickup truck, this is your SUV. However, if fuel economy is your top priority, 20 miles per gallon combined, it is what it is. Or if you needed 3 rows, look into the Honda Pilot. And yes, they do have a TrailSport edition for that as well. And then if you're not willing to spend $53,000 for the TrailSport Elite version, there is an RTL or Regal Touring leather trim that brings it down a bit, but you'll give up the off-roading cameras and undercarriage. Then you're just like off-roading at your own expense. I genuinely enjoy my time with the Honda Passport, so if you are interested in picking one up, make sure you head by your local Honda dealership and go for a test drive. Of course, they're gonna try and talk you into buying one, but maybe you will, maybe you won't. So let us know your thoughts. What do you think about, what we showed you about the Passport? Do you have one already? Have you seen them? Have you been curious about them? Sound off in the comments below. And of course, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate you for doing so, and see you next video. Peace.